My friend found out that my boyfriend had a profile on a dating app, and it completely destroyed me. But the worst was yet to come. I was at my desk when my phone buzzed. Tuesday afternoon, 2:37 p.m. A text from my nail tech. I'd been going to her salon for 2 years. We'd become close the way you do with someone who sees you regularly, listens while they work. I'd told her everything about my relationship, shown her photos of him. She'd always seemed genuinely happy for me. The text just said, "Call me when you can. Important." Before I could respond, a screenshot came through. Then another, 3 more in rapid succession. My hands went cold. It was him, his face. Photos I recognized. Ones from our apartment, from trips we'd taken. A dating app profile. Active at that exact moment. The bio said he was single, 29, looking for something real. No mention of a fiancé. No mention of the life we'd built over 3 years. My phone kept buzzing. More screenshots flooding in, conversations with other women, flirting, making plans to meet up. In one message, he'd called me his ex and added, "She's pretty unstable, honestly." Another buzz. Message from my nail tech. I matched with him to see if it was real. He responded in 5 minutes. "I'm so sorry." The fluorescent office lights felt too bright. I could hear my coworkers talking nearby, phones ringing, keyboards clicking, normal sounds from a normal Tuesday. But nothing was normal anymore. My hands shook so badly I nearly dropped the phone. I stood up too fast and my chair rolled back, hitting the desk behind me. A few people glanced over. I grabbed my bag and walked toward the bathroom, trying to look casual, trying to look like someone whose world hadn't just shattered. I made it into a stall before my legs gave out, sat on the closed toilet lid, phone clutched in both hands, scrolling through the evidence, each screenshot worse than the last. The profile had been active for months based on conversation timestamps. Months. While we'd been planning our wedding, while we discussed honeymoon destinations just last month, while he'd been coming home every night, kissing me, asking about my day, sleeping beside me. A new text appeared. "What do you want me to do? Should I keep talking to him?" My thumbs hovered. I typed and deleted 3 responses. Finally, "Yes, keep going. I need to know everything." I couldn't breathe properly. Each breath felt shallow. I pressed my palm against my chest, focusing on anything physical. The cold tile under my feet, the metal stall walls, the weight of my phone. I had to get out of here. I splashed water on my face, avoided my reflection, and went back to my desk. Told my supervisor I had a migraine. She took one look at me and waved me off without questions. The drive home took 25 minutes. It felt endless. My mind circled the same thoughts. How long? How many others? When he'd said he was working late, meeting clients at the gym, had any of it been true? More texts arrived. My nail tech was still chatting with him. He was being charming, attentive, the same way he'd been with me at first. She sent a screenshot of him suggesting they meet Friday evening. "Coffee first," he'd said. I pulled into our apartment complex and sat in the car, engine off, staring at nothing. His car wasn't here yet. He'd arrive around 6. He'd walk through that door smiling, asking about my day, completely unaware that I knew everything, that I'd seen the proof. I unlocked our apartment and dropped my bag by the door. The place we'd moved into 18 months ago. The couch we'd picked out. Photos of us on the walls. Every corner held memories that suddenly felt like lies. My phone buzzed again. Him sending another message on the app. Another flirtation. I watched them pile up in real time, each one confirming this wasn't a misunderstanding. This was deliberate. At 6:15, I heard his key in the lock. My whole body tensed. I was on the couch, phone face down, trying to look normal, trying to figure out how to act like I didn't know. The door opened. He came in smiling, keys jangling. "Hey, you're home early." He dropped the keys in the bowl. "How was your day?" I opened my mouth, closed it. "Fine," I managed, "just fine." He moved into the kitchen, completely oblivious. Started talking about work, some meeting with a difficult client. His voice sounded distant, underwater. I sat there nodding at appropriate moments, making sounds of acknowledgement, while my phone continued to buzz silently. Each notification a fresh wound. He had no idea, and I had to keep it that way. At least for now. At least until I figured out what to do with this information destroying me from the inside out. 3 months ago, we'd been lying in bed on a Sunday morning, laptop between us, scrolling through honeymoon destinations. Greece? He'd suggested, pulling me closer. The islands? Too touristy. What about Croatia? Anywhere with you sounds perfect. 6 months before that, he'd first mentioned marriage. We'd been walking through the park when he'd stopped. Faced me. I think you're it for me. This is what forever looks like. I'd cried. Happy tears. The kind I never thought I'd cry again. Because before him, I'd been destroyed. My previous relationship had nearly broken me completely. My ex was controlling in ways I didn't recognize at first. He'd isolate me from friends, then act hurt when I felt lonely, criticize my choices, then claim he was helping, twist conversations until I doubted my own memory, my own reality. It took 2 years of therapy after that relationship ended to feel normal again. 2 years learning to trust my own judgment. Learning that what I'd experienced had a name. Emotional abuse. Gaslighting. When I met my current fiancé 3 years ago at a work conference, it felt like breathing after drowning. He was straightforward, present. No games, no manipulation. He didn't make me question reality. He was just there. Solid. Safe. I thought I'd finally found someone who wouldn't hurt me. I met my nail tech 2 years ago, right after things got serious with him. I'd been looking for a new salon, walked into hers, immediately felt comfortable. She was easy to talk to, warm. Over time, our appointments became more than just nails. I'd tell her about my relationship, how grateful I was for someone stable. She knew about my ex. She'd heard me cry about my fears. She'd seen me vulnerable. "You deserve this," she'd always say. "Your guy sounds like one of the good ones." I'd believed her. He never came to the salon. Said it was my space. Never pushy about meeting my friends. I appreciated that independence. That he didn't try to control my time. I'd show her photos of us. Tell her about our weekends, our plans. She'd react enthusiastically. "You're so lucky." Relationship goals. And I'd held on tight. Because after years of chaos, I'd found peace. Someone who made me feel secure instead of anxious. Now, watching him in our kitchen like nothing was wrong, that old feeling crept back. Reality shifting beneath my feet. Not being able to trust what I was seeing. But this time I had proof. Screenshots. Evidence. This was real. "You okay?" he asked, looking over. "You've barely eaten." I forced a smile. "Just tired." He nodded, went back to cleaning up. I watched him, completely unaware I was holding his betrayal in my phone. More screenshots kept coming. "Want to watch something?" he called. "Sure." He brought wine, sat beside me, turned on the TV. Our routine, our comfortable evening, except nothing was comfortable. My phone buzzed. Another screenshot. Him being charming with my nail tech. Being the version he'd been with me 3 years ago. I set my phone face down. He draped his arm around me. I stopped myself from flinching. Every touch felt wrong now. "Love you," he said, kissing my temple. Those words used to mean everything. After an hour of pretending, he yawned. "Exhausted? Coming to bed?" "In a bit." He kissed my forehead and left. The moment the door closed, I grabbed my phone. More messages. He'd sent another one 10 minutes ago. While sitting beside me, while his arm was around me, I sat in the dark, TV flickering, scrolling through proof that everything I'd believed was a lie. 3 years thinking I'd found something real, something safe. Maybe I was the problem. Maybe my judgment was so broken I couldn't see red flags. Maybe I'd never learned to pick the right person. Or maybe he was just good at hiding it. My phone buzzed. My best friend. "Hey, you okay? You seemed off earlier." I'd texted her this afternoon, said I wasn't feeling well. Hadn't told her why. I stared at the message, finally responded, "Can we talk tomorrow? Something happened." Her reply came immediately. "Of course. Call anytime. I'm here." I looked around our apartment. The life we'd built, the furniture we'd chosen, the photos on the walls, the plans we'd made, all of it felt like it had just collapsed, and I didn't know how to rebuild it, or if I even wanted to. Wednesday morning, I woke up beside him like nothing had changed. He kissed my forehead before getting up, asked if I wanted coffee, smiled when I said yes. I smiled back. My face felt like a mask. Screenshots had kept coming all night. The last one at 11:47 p.m., him saying he couldn't wait to finally meet her Friday. I made it through Wednesday. Work, home, dinner. We ate together, watched TV. He reached for me in bed and I made an excuse. He accepted it without question. Thursday was worse. My best friend called during lunch. "Okay, what happened?" Everything came spilling out. The screenshots, the profile, the conversations, months of activity on the app. Silence. Then, "Vera? No, that's impossible. You guys are the most solid couple I know. I have proof. Dozens of screenshots. Send them." I did. Waited while she looked. Oh my God. Her voice changed completely. These are real. I know. He called you unstable? Said you're clingy? My throat tightened. Yeah. What are you going to do? He has a date scheduled. Friday at 7, coffee downtown. My nail tech is still pretending to be interested. Are you confronting him before? No. I want to catch him. See him walk into that coffee shop. I want proof he can't deny. I'm coming with you. You're not doing this alone. After we hung up, I felt marginally better. At least I wouldn't be completely alone. Thursday night, he came home with takeout from my favorite restaurant. Thought you could use a break from cooking, he said. I stared at him. He'd remembered my order. Extra spring rolls, no cilantro. Small gestures that had made me feel loved. And while doing this, he was planning to meet another woman in less than 24 hours. Thank you, I managed. We ate on the couch. He talked about work, asked about my day, acted completely normal. No guilt, no nervous energy, nothing. My phone buzzed. Screenshot from my nail tech. Him confirming, tomorrow, 7 p.m., Riverview Cafe downtown. Friday morning, he left for work like always. Kissed my cheek. Said he'd be home around 6. I called in sick. Couldn't face the office. I spent the day pacing, looking at photos on the walls, trying to figure out when it started. At 5:30, my best friend texted, "On my way. Meet you there at 6:30. At 5:45, he came home early. Got off a bit early, he said, heading for the shower. Figured I'd enjoy Friday night. My nail tech's text. Still on for tonight? His response came seconds later, from the bathroom. Definitely. See you soon. He came out dressed nicely. Jeans and the blue shirt I'd bought him. Got to meet a client, he said, grabbing keys. Should only be a couple hours? On a Friday night? Yeah, annoying, but the commission's worth it. He kissed my forehead. Love you. The door closed. I counted to 60, grabbed my keys, left. My best friend was already parked near Riverview Cafe. I pulled in next to her and she got into my passenger seat. Ready? She asked. I wasn't, but I nodded. We watched the coffee shop, waiting. 6:55 p.m. My nail tech walked in, took a seat by the window. That's her? My best friend asked. Yeah. 7 o'clock came. 7:05. 7:10. My phone buzzed. My nail tech. I'm here. Is he coming? Screenshot. Him. Running a few minutes late. 7:15. 7:20. Then my phone rang. His name. I answered. Hey. Hey. He sounded stressed. I just got a call from my biggest client. Complete emergency. I have to go into the office right now. On a Friday night? I know, but it's important. Could be a massive account. I'm sorry. How long? Couple hours, maybe. I'll text you when I'm done. Okay. Love you. He hung up. My nail tech. He canceled. Said something urgent came up. I stared at my phone. My best friend stared at me. He didn't show. I said quietly. He said the office? Yeah. She pulled up a map. Where's his office? 10 minutes away. Let's go. We followed the route. Found his car in the parking garage. Watched him walk inside, phone to his ear, looking genuinely stressed. There actually was an emergency. We sat there for 20 minutes, watching. Maybe he's telling the truth, my best friend said carefully. About tonight, at least. I shook my head. The profile is still real. The messages are still real. This doesn't erase everything else. She drove me back to my car. I sat behind the wheel, not knowing what to feel. I'd been so sure I'd catch him tonight. So sure I'd have definitive proof. Instead, just more confusion. More screenshots that wouldn't matter because he could claim they were fake. The evidence was real. I knew it was real. But could I prove it? The next 2 weeks, I became someone I didn't recognize. I checked his phone whenever he left it unattended. Browser history, apps, messages, found nothing. The dating app wasn't installed, no suspicious texts. But screenshots from my nail tech kept coming. Daily. Him talking to other women, 3 different conversations, making plans that always fell through, work emergencies, family obligations, sudden headaches. I tracked his location obsessively, cross-referenced where he said he'd be with where his phone showed. Everything matched. Gym, office, grocery store, client meetings at the right addresses. You've been different lately, he said one evening, 2 weeks after that Friday. Distant. Is everything okay? I'm fine. You don't seem fine. He reached for my hand. I pulled away automatically. Saw the hurt. Are you upset with me? Yes. Everything. No, just stressed with work. If something's wrong, you can tell me. The irony made me want to scream. I'd become paranoid, suspicious of every late night, every phone call. I questioned everything, looked for inconsistencies. It was exactly how I'd been with my ex. The constant vigilance, the inability to trust. I hated it, but I couldn't stop. My best friend called every day. You need to confront him. This is destroying you. Not yet. I need more. More what? You have dozens of screenshots. I need to catch him actually doing something, not just talking. Why? Because he'll deny it. Say the profile is fake. I need undeniable proof. The nail tech kept trying to set up meetings. He kept accepting, kept canceling. 3 days later, I followed him to a client dinner, watched him enter an upscale restaurant, waited, then went inside. Asked the hostess if I could look for my husband. Found him with 2 older men in suits, documents spread across the table. Actual clients. I left before he could see me, drove home shaking. The screenshots were real, but every time I tried to catch him, he was exactly where he said he'd be. My nail tech messaged, he's suggesting Tuesday at 8. I didn't respond. That night, he tried to initiate intimacy. I couldn't. Made an excuse, rolled away. I don't know what's happening with us, he said quietly. But I'm here when you're ready to talk. I wanted to scream, but I was terrified. Terrified he'd convince me I was crazy, paranoid, seeing things that weren't there. My ex had been so good at that, making me doubt my own perception. What if trauma was making me see betrayal where there wasn't any? But the screenshots, they were real, weren't they? I need some air, I said, getting out of bed. Living room, dark, couch, phone, scrolling through evidence, his face, his words. Real. Had to be real. My nail tech called. Are you okay? I don't know what's real anymore. The profile is real. The messages are real. But he never shows up. That's what cheaters do. They're careful. Or he's actually busy. Or someone's using his photos. Don't do this. Don't let him make you doubt what you're seeing. But was I? Or was I doubting myself? I grabbed my keys, drove aimlessly, ended up outside my best friend's building at 2 a.m. She answered on the first ring. Come up. Made me tea. Let me talk. He's either the unluckiest cheater or the smartest one, I said. Or someone's lying to you, she said carefully. You think the screenshots are fake? I don't know, but something doesn't add up. I stayed there that night. Texted him I'd had too much wine. He responded, okay, glad you're safe. Love you. 3 words that meant everything or nothing. Next morning, I went home. He was making breakfast, looking worried. We need to talk, he said. My stomach dropped. About what? About whatever's going on. With you. With us. He turned off the stove. You've been pulling away for weeks. You barely talk to me. You flinch when I touch you. If I did something wrong, tell me. You didn't do anything. That's not true. Something's wrong. I looked at him. Saw genuine concern. Either he was an incredible actor, or he had no idea. I'm just dealing with some stuff. Personal stuff. He didn't believe me, but he nodded. Okay, just know I'm here. My phone buzzed. My nail tech. He confirmed Tuesday 8 p.m. This time he'll show. I looked at the message, then at him. One of them was lying. I couldn't figure out which one. Tuesday came. My nail tech suggested something different. A hotel bar downtown. More private. Less chance of him getting cold feet. He'd agreed. Tuesday, 8 p.m., Riverside Hotel. I rented a different car. Parked across the street at 7:30. My best friend was on the phone on standby. You sure about this? I need to see it. 7:45. My nail tech texted from inside. I'm at the bar. He said he's coming. 7:50. 7:55. 8 p.m. Nothing. 8:10. My phone rang. His name. Hey. Hey, I'm not feeling well. He sounded strained. Really not well. I think I'm coming down with something. I'm staying home tonight. What's wrong? Headache. Nausea. Hit me suddenly. Okay, feel better. I hung up. My nail tech. He canceled again. Said he's sick. 4th time. 4th cancellation. Something snapped. I drove home. Fast. Reckless. Burst through our door. Found him in bed. Lights off. Compress on his forehead. He looked up, surprised. Hey, I thought you were... Stop. My voice came out sharp. Just stop. He sat up slowly. What's wrong? I pulled out my phone. Threw it at him. It landed on the bed. Explain that. He picked it up. Started scrolling. His face went pale. This isn't me. Don't. Don't you dare lie to my face. Vera, I swear I didn't create this. Someone's using my photos. Someone's using your photos for months, having detailed conversations. I don't know how they... You made plans 4 times. 4 times you confirmed and conveniently had an emergency. Because those were actual emergencies. How? I was screaming. How can you prove anything when you're lying? He got out of bed, tried to approach. I stepped back. Don't touch me. Please, just listen. I've been listening. For 3 weeks. While you lie to my face. Act normal. Tell me you love me while messaging other women. It's not me. Why won't you believe me? Because I have proof. Dozens of screenshots. Then someone hacked my accounts or... Stop making excuses. We were both yelling now. 3 years exploding at once. You called me your unstable ex, I said, voice breaking. I never said that. I would never... I read it. He scrolled frantically. This has to be fake. Someone's setting me up. Who would do that? I don't know, but it's not me. Then why do you keep canceling? If it's not you, why does he cancel every time? Because those things actually happened. The client emergency was real. This headache is real. How convenient. It's the truth. I laughed bitterly. I don't even know what truth means anymore. He stood there, breathing hard, then turned, walked to the closet. What are you doing? He pulled out a small box from the top shelf. Velvet. Opened it. An engagement ring. Beautiful. I bought this 2 months ago, he said, voice cracking. I was going to propose on our anniversary next week. I stared at the ring. I've been working extra hours to afford it. That's why I've been stressed. Because I wanted everything perfect. Tears streamed down my face. But I can't marry someone who doesn't trust me, he said quietly. Someone who believes I'm capable of this. Someone who's been investigating me, following me, treating me like a criminal. How did you... I'm not stupid. I noticed. The way you check my phone, how you look at me, how you flinch when I touch you. He closed the ring box. I thought maybe you were having doubts about getting married. He grabbed a duffel bag, started throwing clothes in. What are you doing? I can't do this. I can't be with someone who thinks I'm capable of this. Who believes screenshots over 3 years of me showing you I love you? Wait. No. He zipped the bag. You've already decided who I am. Nothing I say will change that. He walked past me, stopped at the door. For what it's worth, I never lied to you. Not once. In 3 years. The door closed. I stood there, ring box on the bed, apartment silent, and I had no idea what had just happened. 3 days passed. He didn't come back. I called, texted, 47 messages, 23 calls, nothing. The nail tech came over, brought food I didn't eat, sat with me while I cried. You did the right thing, she kept saying. You exposed him. Men like that don't deserve you. My best friend was quieter, just listened when I called. A week later, he picked up his remaining things while I was at work, left the key on the kitchen table, took the photos off the walls, left rectangles of darker paint where they'd hung. I tried calling, disconnected. I tried his work email, bounced back. I showed up at his office. Security wouldn't let me up. He'd left instructions. I wasn't allowed. That's when it hit me. He wasn't coming back. This was over. Completely. Finally. Irreversibly. I stopped eating. Stopped sleeping properly. The apartment felt too empty. The nail tech visited 3 times that first week. Brought coffee, takeout, sat for hours. Always saying, "You're better off." He showed his true colors. My best friend was different. She'd listen in silence. Sometimes, "I'm sorry," but never, "You did the right thing." I noticed, but was too broken to ask why. 2 weeks later, my phone buzzed at 3 a.m. My heart jumped. It was my best friend. "Are you awake?" "Yeah." "Can't sleep either?" "Not really." Silence. Then, "Vera, can I ask you something?" "Okay." "The screenshots. You saw them yourself, right? Not just what she sent you?" I sat up. "What do you mean? Like, you personally saw the app on his phone? Saw him logged in?" "No, he never had it installed. But the screenshots were only from her." My stomach dropped. "What are you saying?" "I'm just thinking. About how he never showed up. How his excuses were legitimate. How his phone was clean. But the profile was real. His photos, his information, photos anyone could download from social media. Information you told her over 2 years. She wouldn't she?" I couldn't breathe. "No, that's insane." "Why?" "I don't know. But something's been bothering me. If he was really cheating, why agree to meet and always cancel? Why not just not respond? Because he was being careful. Or because someone was responding for him. Someone who couldn't actually make him show up. The room spun. "Stop, you're making me paranoid." Or maybe you already were. Maybe that was the point. The point of what? I don't know, something doesn't sit right. After we hung up, I couldn't stop thinking. Pulled out my phone, scrolled through every screenshot. The conversations were smooth. Too smooth. No typos. Nothing that felt off, except they felt generic. Like someone trying to sound like him without being him. And he'd never mentioned the app. Never acted suspicious. Never given me real reason not to trust him until those screenshots. Which only came from one source. My nail tech. No. That was crazy. She was my friend. She'd been trying to help. Hadn't she? I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, doubt eating away at everything. The next morning, I called her, asked if we could meet for coffee. Of course. Are you doing okay? I'm fine. Just need to talk. We met at a coffee shop. She hugged me tight, kept her hand on mine. How are you holding up? Not great. But I've been thinking. About everything. About how none of it adds up. Something flickered across her face. What do you mean? He never actually did anything. Never actually cheated. Just had a profile and conversations that went nowhere. That's still cheating. Is it, though? If the profile wasn't real? But it was real. I matched with it. With someone. But was it really him? Her hand tightened. Vera, what are you suggesting? I don't know. I'm just trying to understand. She pulled her hand back. You're doubting me now? After everything? I'm doubting everything. She stood up. I can't believe this. I tried to help you. And now you're turning on me? I'm not. I have to go. She grabbed her purse and left. I sat there, coffee cooling, more confused than ever. 6 weeks crawled by. Me in a fog, questioning everything, until one Tuesday afternoon when my world turned inside out again. I was at the salon for an appointment. A different salon. Couldn't go back to hers after that conversation. She'd texted a few times. I hadn't responded. I was getting my nails done when she walked in. She didn't see me at first. Went straight to her station, set her bag down, pulled out her phone, left it on the counter, unlocked, while she went to the bathroom. Something in me moved before I could think. I stood up, walked over. My new nail tech was distracted. I looked at the phone on the counter, screen still lit. The app was open. Not her profile. His profile. The one from all the screenshots. I picked it up with shaking hands. Scrolled through the conversation. Her talking to herself through his fake profile. Last message, sent 2 hours ago, unsent. Thinking about you. She'd written it. To herself. Through his account. The phone slipped from my hands, clattered on the tile. Everyone looked. She came out of the bathroom, our eyes met. 3 seconds of pure truth. It was you, I whispered. Not a question. She froze. Looked at her phone on the floor, screen showing the fake profile. Vera, it was you. I can explain. You made it all up. My voice got louder. People stared. You created a fake profile. You fabricated every single conversation. You destroyed my relationship. It wasn't like that. Then what was it like? The salon went silent. She looked around, everyone watching. Her face crumbled. I'm sorry, she whispered. You're sorry? I laughed. It came out wrong. Broken. You're sorry? I didn't mean for it to go this far. How far did you mean? After he proposed? After we got married? When? I wanted what you had. I was jealous. So jealous. Your perfect relationship. Your perfect life. I couldn't stand it. The floor tilted. So you decided to destroy it. I thought if you saw he wasn't perfect, maybe you'd appreciate it more. But then you believed it completely, and I couldn't stop. I couldn't figure out how to tell you without you hating me. So you let me throw away 3 years instead. She didn't answer. You knew about my ex. You knew how hard it was for me to trust again, and you weaponized that. You used my trauma against me. I'm so sorry. Sorry doesn't fix this, I was screaming. Sorry doesn't bring him back. Sorry doesn't undo what I did. I grabbed her phone. I'm taking this. Evidence of what you did. Vera, please, don't. Don't ever talk to me again. I walked out, got in my car, drove until I couldn't see through tears, pulled over, screamed until my throat was raw. Then I called him. The disconnected number. It rang. My heart stopped. It rang again. Voicemail. New message. You've reached me. Leave a message. It's me. My voice cracked. I know you won't listen to this. I know you'll delete it. But I need to say this. You were right. About everything. It was fake. She made it all up. The profile, the messages, everything. I have proof now. I was wrong. I'm so sorry. I'm so, so sorry. I hung up, sat in my car in some parking lot, realized I'd destroyed the best thing in my life over a lie. A lie I'd been too traumatized to question. A lie told by someone I'd trusted completely. I'd ruined everything, and there was no way to fix it. I tried everything to reach him over the next week, called from different numbers, all blocked, emailed from new addresses, all bounced back, showed up at his office. Security had my photo now, wouldn't even let me through the lobby. He wasn't coming back. This was permanent. I showed my best friend the nail tech's phone. It really was her, she breathed, and I destroyed us over a lie. 2 weeks later, he was seeing someone. A month later, official. The nail tech reached out. I blocked her, reported her. She was fired. 3 months later, a woman called. I'm seeing him, he proposed, with the ring he bought for you. My ring. Someone else's finger. 4 months. That's all it took him to move on. I was still drowning. I tried everything to reach him, called from different numbers, all blocked, emailed from new addresses. They bounced back, went to his office again. Security had my photo now, wouldn't even let me in the building, asked mutual friends. They were kind but firm. He'd asked them not to share his information. He needed space. He was trying to move on, like I was something to get over. Like 3 years meant nothing, except it did mean something. It meant everything, and I'd destroyed it. I showed the nail tech's phone to my best friend. The fake profile still open, the evidence undeniable. Oh my God, she breathed. It really was her. I accused him of cheating. I pushed him away. I treated him like a criminal, and he was innocent the entire time. You didn't know. I should have known. I should have trusted him. 3 years of him being nothing but honest, and I believed some screenshots over everything he'd shown me. She didn't have an answer for that. 2 weeks later, I found out through a mutual friend that he was seeing someone. They'd been on 3 dates. 3 dates in 2 weeks. Maybe he'd been ready to move on the moment he walked out. Maybe I'd never meant as much to him as he did to me. Or maybe he was just better at surviving heartbreak. A month later, they were official. I saw it on social media before I could stop myself. A photo of them together, her tagged. Relationship status, in a relationship. I stared at that photo for hours. She was pretty, smiling, normal, probably not traumatized, probably able to trust him without constant doubt. Everything I should have been but wasn't. I deleted all my social media that night. Couldn't stand seeing him happy with someone else. Couldn't stand the reminder of what I'd lost. The nail tech tried to reach out twice. I blocked her, reported her to the salon. They fired her immediately. It felt hollow, meaningless, like closing the barn door after the horses had already run. 3 months after he left, I was eating lunch alone at work when my phone rang. Unknown number. My heart stopped. I answered. Vera? Not his voice. A woman's. This is Jenna. I'm seeing... She said his name. He doesn't know I'm calling. He'd be furious if he knew. But I think you should know something. What? He's using the ring. I couldn't breathe. What? The engagement ring, from the box he showed you. He proposed to me last weekend, with that ring. The world tilted. He told me about you, she continued. About what happened. He said he'd bought it for you, but that you accused him of cheating without any real proof, that you destroyed his trust. That's not... But I couldn't finish, because it was true. All of it. I'm calling because I saw a post online. Someone shared a story about a nail tech who created a fake dating profile to break up a couple. The details matched what he told me. I looked into it, found your name, put it together. She paused. I wanted you to know the ring should have been yours. And I'm sorry for how this happened. She hung up. I sat there, phone in hand, food forgotten. He'd proposed to someone else, with the ring he'd bought for me. 4 months after we ended. 4 months. I'd spent 3 years building a life with him, and he'd replaced me in 4 months. That night, I went to his apartment building, not to go in, just to see, to torture myself. Stood across the street in the dark, looking up at his floor. Saw lights on, saw 2 silhouettes moving around, laughing, living. He'd moved on, and I was still here, drowning in regret. My best friend found me there an hour later. I'd texted her something that worried her. She drove around until she found my car. Come on, she said gently. Let's go home. He's getting married. I know. With my ring. I know. I did this. I destroyed us. She did this. That woman. She's the one who lied. But I believed her. That's on me. My best friend was quiet for a moment. Then, yeah, it is. I looked at her. I'm sorry, but it's true. She lied. But you chose to believe her over 3 years of him proving he loved you. You chose to investigate and follow him instead of just asking him directly. You chose paranoia over trust. Tears streamed down my face. I know it hurts, she said softly. And I know she manipulated you, used your trauma, but you have to own your part in this too. You can't heal if you don't. We sat in her car outside his building. He's really gone, isn't he? I whispered. Yeah, he is. And there's nothing I can do. No, there isn't. I nodded. Let myself cry. Let myself feel it fully. The relationship was over. He'd moved on, found someone who could trust him, someone who didn't come with baggage that destroyed everything good. And I was left with the wreckage. Just me and the consequences of my choices. 6 months after he left, I started therapy again. Real therapy, 3 times a week. Tell me about your previous relationship, my therapist said. The one before him. I told her everything. The control, the gaslighting. And when the screenshots appeared, I believed them immediately. Why? Because they confirmed what I feared. That I didn't deserve good things. That happiness was temporary. So you were waiting for it to be true. I stared at her. What? Trauma doesn't just make us paranoid. It makes us seek out evidence of our worst fears. You weren't looking for proof he was innocent. You were looking for proof he was guilty. The words hit like blows. I destroyed my own relationship. You and the woman who lied both played a part. But yes, you made choices based on fear instead of facts. I cried for an hour in that office. 8 months after he left, my best friend told me he was engaged. Wedding planned for next summer. I thought you should hear it from me. I nodded. Didn't cry. Just felt numb. How are you doing? In therapy. Actually working this time. That's good. I think I need to accept that some mistakes can't be fixed. That some endings are permanent. Yeah, he's happy. That's what matters. You can be happy too eventually. Maybe. But not with him. Never with him again. 10 months after he left, I moved. Different apartment, smaller. Couldn't afford the old one. And the memories were too heavy. Starting over, clean slate, new neighborhood. I was sleeping better, eating regularly, functioning. But I wasn't dating. Couldn't imagine trusting someone new. What if I'm broken forever? I asked my therapist. You're not broken. You're healing. But what if I can't trust someone again? Then you work on trusting yourself first. 11 months later, I ran into him, completely by accident, coffee shop, with her, his fiancée, laughing. He looked up, saw me. His smile disappeared. I froze. He turned back to her, kept talking, acted like I wasn't there, like I was a stranger. Maybe I was. I ordered coffee, sat with my friend, didn't look at his table, but I heard her laugh, heard them making weekend plans. When I left, I walked past their table. He didn't look up. I got in my car and sat there. That was it. Final proof. I wasn't part of his life. Wasn't even worth acknowledging. I'd expected it to hurt more, but I just felt empty. Like closing a chapter I'd read 1,000 times. No surprises left. 1 year after he left, I went to a social event. Friend convinced me. Someone approached at the bar, asked if I wanted a drink. He was nice, attractive, funny. I felt nothing, no interest, no spark. I'm sorry, I'm not really looking for anything right now. That's cool. Just thought I'd try. He walked away. My friend appeared. You okay? Yeah, I'm just not ready. That's okay. You'll know when you are. Maybe. Or maybe I'd never be ready again. Maybe that was the price. For believing lies over truth. For letting trauma win. For destroying the best thing that ever happened to me. Some mistakes cost everything. Mine cost me him. 14 months later, I saw wedding photos. My best friend's cousin knew his wife. They showed up in a feed I couldn't control. There he was, smiling, happy. She was beautiful. He wore the suit I'd helped him pick out. They looked perfect. I stared at those photos, then closed the app, deleted it. 16 months later, I was doing better. Really better. Therapy was working, sleeping through the night, going days without thinking about him. Days turned into weeks. I was healing. 18 months later, I started seeing someone casually. Just coffee dates. Testing if I could do this again. He was patient. Kind. On our 4th date, he reached for my hand. I didn't flinch. Just let him hold it. It felt strange, but not bad. You okay? Yeah. I'm okay. It didn't work out. He wanted more than I could give. We parted as friends. But I'd tried. That felt like progress. 20 months later, the nail tech messaged me. I know you don't want to hear from me, but I've been in therapy. Understanding why I did what I did. It doesn't excuse it. But I wanted you to know, I'm trying to be better. I'm so sorry. For everything. I read it 3 times, closed it without responding. She didn't deserve my forgiveness. But maybe I needed to let go for me. I didn't respond. Didn't block her. Just left it there. 2 years later, I was completely moved on. New apartment, new routine, new life. I still thought about him sometimes. Wondered if he was happy in his marriage. Probably. Why wouldn't he be? I'd given him every reason to forget I existed. My therapist said I was ready to date seriously if I wanted to. I wasn't sure, but I was open to it. That felt like enough. 14 months after he left, I saw the wedding photos. Not intentionally. My best friend's cousin was friends with someone who knew his fiancé. The photos showed up in a feed I couldn't control. There he was, smiling, happy. She was beautiful in her dress. He wore the same suit he'd worn to his brother's wedding, the one I'd helped him pick out. They looked perfect together. I stared at those photos for longer than I should have. Then I closed the app, deleted it, again. 16 months later, I was doing better. Really better this time. Not just pretending. Therapy was working. I was sleeping through the night, eating meals without forcing myself, going days without thinking about him. Then days turned into a week. A week turned into 2. I was healing. Actually healing. My best friend noticed. You seem lighter, she said one day. I feel lighter. That's good. Really good. I'm not over it. Don't think I ever will be completely. But I'm learning to carry it differently. That's all anyone can do. 18 months later, I started seeing someone casually. Nothing serious, just coffee dates, conversations, testing if I could do this again. He was patient, kind, didn't push. On our 4th date, he reached for my hand across the table. I didn't flinch, didn't pull away, just let him hold it. It felt strange, foreign, but not bad. You okay? He asked. Yeah, I'm okay. It didn't work out. He wanted more than I could give. We parted as friends, but I'd tried. That felt like progress. 20 months after he left, I got a message request on the one social media platform I'd kept. From her, the nail tech. I stared at it for a full minute before opening it. I know you don't want to hear from me. I know I have no right to reach out, but I need you to know I've been in therapy, working on myself, understanding why I did what I did. It doesn't excuse it. Nothing excuses it. But I wanted you to know I'm trying to be better. And I'm so, so sorry. For everything. I destroyed your life because I was jealous and broken. That's on me. All of it. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you found happiness again. You deserved better than what I did to you. I read it 3 times. Then closed it without responding. She didn't deserve my forgiveness. Didn't deserve to feel better about what she'd done. But maybe I didn't need to give it to her for her. Maybe I needed to let go for me. I didn't respond. But I didn't block her either. Just left it there. Read and unacknowledged. 2 years after he left, I was completely moved on. New apartment, new routine, new life. I still thought about him sometimes. Wondered how he was doing. If he was happy in his marriage. If he ever thought about me. Probably not. Why would he? I'd given him every reason to forget I existed. My therapist said I was ready to date seriously if I wanted to. I wasn't sure I wanted to. But I was open to the possibility. That felt like enough. 2 years and 3 months after he left, I was at a bookstore when I saw him again. He was alone this time. No wife. Just him, looking at books in the fiction section. He looked older. Tired. But still him. I could have left. Should have left. But something made me walk over. Hi, I said quietly. He looked up. Saw me. His expression didn't change. Hi. I paused. I'm sorry. For everything. I know it's too late. I know it doesn't matter. But I needed to say it. You deserved better than what I gave you. You were innocent and I treated you like a criminal. I let trauma and paranoia destroy something beautiful. And I'm sorry. He looked at me for a long moment. Okay. That was it. Just, okay. Not, I forgive you. Not, it's fine. Just acknowledgement. I should go, I said. Yeah. I turned to leave. Vera? I stopped. Looked back. I hope you're doing better now. I really do. Something in my chest cracked. I am. I hope you're happy. I'm trying to be. There was something in his voice. Something that wasn't quite right. but I didn't have the right to ask. Take care of yourself, I said. You too. I left the bookstore, got in my car, and finally cried. Real tears. Not for what we'd lost, but for what we'd never get back. He'd moved on. I'd moved on. We were different people now, living different lives. And that was how it had to be. Some endings are permanent. Some mistakes can't be unmade. Some people don't get second chances. I was one of them. I couldn't stop thinking about that bookstore encounter. The way he'd looked. Tired. And that comment. I'm trying to be. Not, I am happy. Trying. Something was wrong. I told my therapist. What do you think that means to you? I don't know. Maybe nothing. Or maybe you're looking for hope where there isn't any. She was right. But I couldn't shake the feeling. 2 weeks later, my best friend called. I have news. About him. My stomach dropped. What? He's getting divorced. Papers filed last week. What? They've only been married a year. I know. It happened fast. She left him. Why? I don't know. No details. Just that it's over. I sat down. Don't. My best friend said immediately. Don't what? Don't see this as an opening. This doesn't mean anything for you. I wasn't. Yes, you were. Vera, he's going through a divorce. He doesn't need you showing up. She was right. I just feel bad for him. I know. But feeling bad doesn't mean you get to insert yourself back into his life. I know. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. A month later, I broke my own rule. Sent him an email. I heard about your divorce. I'm sorry you're going through that. I hope you're okay. Not trying to start anything. Just wanted you to know someone cares you're hurting. Take care. I hit send. He didn't respond. 2 weeks later, I tried to let it go. Then my phone rang at 9 p.m. on a Tuesday. Unknown number. Hello? It's me. His voice. After almost 3 years. I couldn't breathe. Hi. I got your email. You don't have to. I know I shouldn't have sent it. No, it was kind. Unexpected, but kind. Silence. Heavy. Can I ask you something? He said finally. Of course. Did you really not know? That the profile was fake? That she made it all up? I didn't know. Not until I saw it on her phone months later. If I'd known, I never would have believed it. But you did believe it. That's what I can't get past. 3 years of me being honest, and you believed screenshots over me. I know. I was wrong. I let my trauma make me paranoid. I was so scared of being hurt again that I saw danger where there wasn't any. I wasn't your ex. I know. You were perfect. And I destroyed us anyway. Another long silence. She told me she was pregnant. He said quietly. What? My ex-wife. 2 months after we got married. Said she was pregnant. Then said she miscarried. I was devastated. Took time off work. Went to therapy with her. I'm so sorry. She was never pregnant. She made it up. To trap me. When I found out, I left immediately. My heart stopped. She lied to you. Yeah. And you know what I realized? What? I'd done the exact same thing you did. Believed her without proof. Didn't question. Just trusted. That's different. She was your wife. And I was your fiancé. You should have been able to trust me. The words hung there. You're right, I whispered. I'm not trying to hurt you. I just get it now. How easy it is to believe something when you want it to be true. Or when you're scared it's true. How trauma makes you see patterns that aren't there. So what does that mean? I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. But I wanted you to know I understand better now. What happened? Why you believed her. It doesn't make it okay, but I understand. Tears streamed down my face. I'm so sorry. You deserved so much better. So did you. We both deserved better. Is there any chance? I couldn't finish. No, he said gently. There isn't. Too much has happened. Too much damage. We can't go back. I know. But I forgive you. If that matters. It mattered more than anything. Thank you, I managed. Take care of yourself, Vera. Really take care. You too. He hung up. I sat there crying but not devastated. He'd forgiven me. It didn't fix anything. Didn't change anything. Didn't bring us back. But it meant I could finally stop carrying the guilt. I could finally let go. 3 years after that Tuesday when my phone first buzzed, I made a video. I destroyed my own relationship, I began. Let me tell you how. I told everything. The fake profile. The paranoia. My trauma. How I'd let fear override 3 years of trust. I was wrong. This isn't about a friend betraying me. It's about me betraying myself. I explained how untreated trauma made me an easy target. How I'd been convinced I didn't deserve happiness. She lied. Yes. But I chose to believe it. I chose to investigate instead of communicate. I chose paranoia over trust. The video went viral. 2 million views. You were manipulated. Don't blame yourself. But I did a follow-up 2 days later. I appreciate the support. But you're missing the point. Yes, she manipulated me. But I had agency. Those choices destroyed the best relationship I'd ever had. I talked about believing the worst about someone who'd never given me reason to. How I'd followed him, checked his phone, treated him like a criminal. I could have asked him directly. I could have shown him the screenshots on day one. But I didn't. Because trauma told me not to. And I listened to trauma instead of evidence. That video got even more views, started conversations about accountability and trauma responses. The nail tech reached out. I've been watching your videos. You're right. I manipulated you. I'm in therapy now. I'm sorry, I responded. I hope therapy helps. But I can't forgive you. You weaponized my trauma. That's not something I can move past. She replied, I understand. That was the last time we communicated. 4 years later, I ran into him. Coffee shop. He was with a woman, not his ex-wife. Someone new. They looked comfortable. She laughed. He saw me. Small nod. I nodded back. That was it. 2 people who used to love each other acknowledging separate lives. I watched them be happy. And I felt okay. Not devastated. Just okay. He'd moved on. And so had I. I'd learned to live with what I'd done. To accept that some mistakes don't get fixed. Some endings are permanent. I'd learned to trust again. Slowly. I was seeing someone. Early, casual, but healthy. When paranoia tried to creep in, I recognized it. Didn't let it control me. That was growth. 5 years later, I made one final video. This is my last update. Here's what I want you to understand. Trauma doesn't excuse destructive behavior. It explains it. But explanation isn't justification. I was manipulated. And I made bad choices. Both are true. The woman who destroyed my relationship isn't in my life. The man I lost is married to someone else. That's how it should be. I'm not the victim. I'm not the villain. I'm just someone who let fear win when love should have. Some people get redemption arcs. Some get second chances. Some mistakes get forgiven. This isn't one of those stories. I destroyed something beautiful because I was too broken to recognize beauty when I had it. But permanent endings teach you what to protect if you're ever lucky enough to find something good again. They teach you that happiness is fragile, that trust, once broken, might never heal, that some chances only come once. I hope I'm lucky enough to find love again. And if I do, I'll protect it. I'll communicate instead of investigate. I'll trust instead of suspect. That's the best I can do. Learn from the wreckage. To everyone watching, fix your trauma before it fixes you. Heal your wounds before they wound someone else. Don't let your past destroy your present. I didn't do that. And I lost everything because of it. Don't be me. The video was my closure. My final word. I saved one photo of us. Not to look at regularly. Just to remember what I had. What I lost. What I learned. On what would have been our 7th anniversary, I allowed myself one moment of grief. Then moved forward. Because that's all anyone can do. That's my story. It doesn't end with reconciliation or revenge. It ends with acceptance. With growth. With understanding that I made choices that cost me everything. Some people are in your life forever. Some teach you what not to do. He taught me both. How to love. And how to lose that love through my own actions. I'll never get him back. Never make it right. Never get that second chance. But I got something else. Knowledge of who I became when I let trauma make my choices. And determination to never be that person again. That will have to be enough. That will have to be enough.